Tesla just announced a record-breaking quarter for deliveries. During the period of economic shutdown, where businesses and consumers were stuck at home, Tesla came out and announced 139,300 vehicle deliveries in the third quarter of 2020, beating their previous high set in Q4 2019. This was a record month for Tesla deliveries, and in this video we're going to go through this delivery announcement, take a look at which cars were delivered, how much the company produced, take a look at some other major news headlines regarding Tesla, and then go through their financial statements to determine if we like this company right now. This was a highly anticipated number for Tesla. They fit in just above analyst expectations, which had a mean average for deliveries coming in around 135,000 for the quarter. So they delivered 139,300 vehicles in the third quarter of 2020, which is a new all-time high for a single quarter in this company's history. So as you can see here, we're going to go through this article, which talks about their deliveries and their production. So their estimates were ranging between 120 and 140,000 deliveries, but you can see here they came in with 139,000. They actually produced more cars than they delivered this quarter, with production levels of 145,000 vehicles. And you can see here the Model 3/Model Y made up a majority of the production and delivery. They delivered 124,000 Model 3 and Model Ys, and the combination of the Model S and Model X came in at just over 15,000 vehicles. Before we continue on with Tesla, I'm going to remind you to please like and subscribe to the channel. I am the Gen Z Investor, and every single day we talk about the stock market. We go over different stocks you can buy, overall stock market performance, and go over any big market news headlines and results. And like we're doing today, we're taking a look at Tesla because they just announced their Q3 delivery numbers, which were at a record high. So the total number of deliveries saw a massive jump quarter over quarter. In Q2 2020, they delivered 90,000, which of course a significant increase into Q3's results of just under 140,000 deliveries. This is also a new all-time delivery quarter for Tesla. They beat their previous record high in Q4 2019, where they delivered 112,000 vehicles in a 3-month span. They also bumped up production from 82,000 vehicles last quarter, which of course included a shutdown of their Fremont factory, but production was up very nicely to over 145,000 vehicles. And this just talks about how Tesla has now been into a point where it seems like they've fully recovered from the slowdown, from the shutdown of their factories, and now they're kind of back operational and producing the numbers that we want to see. Tesla shares have been extremely volatile, but on a massive gain this year. Post stock split, you can see here year to date, shares are up over 400%. This is during a period of time where we saw an over 35% decline in the overall market. So the shares have been on a rapid surge. If we take a look at a shorter term perspective though, these shares have been extremely volatile. Closer look, we've seen a lot of ups and downs in the share price. From a peak at around $500 a share, you can see here we saw an over 33% decline in share price, followed by another rapid recovery up another 36% from that low, once again followed by another big decline of over 15% in share price late last week. So overall, Tesla has been an extremely volatile company. We've seen rapid short-term surges followed by very fast declines. But overall, shares are still up an insane amount over the past year. And if you take a look at a 5-year chart, going back to 2015, Tesla shares were flat for about 4 years. From October 2015, 4 full years later, shares were completely flat. A less than 1% decline in a matter of 4 full years. So for investors who've been holding Tesla for a long period of time, this rapid surge is exactly what they've been waiting for. From that peak down below, you can see here up 800%. 4 consecutive years at least of being completely flat, followed by a rapid surge in share price. So this company, of course, is growing. They also have another good news coming out this week was that Walmart Canada announced that they actually tripled their order for the Tesla semi-trucks. Tesla semi-trucks are still not there yet. They're not on the market just yet, but Walmart Canada has tripled their order. And this is not the first time that we've seen an increase in order. They originally started off with about 10 vehicles ordered, they bumped it up to 40, and now they've increased that once again and are now ordering 130 Tesla semi-trucks. So this is a nice big bump up from their previous reservation, and it's good to see that big brands like Walmart are willing to take the risk and invest the money into a company like Tesla to try out their vehicles once they're on the market. And Walmart's goal is for the entire retailer is to target zero emissions by 2040. Because of this big hefty goal, that's why they're making these efforts to, of course, transition their fleet into electric vehicles. And Tesla is one of the companies that they are taking a look at and have ordered 130 for Walmart Canada deliveries. Another big headline that Elon Musk was actually on a podcast earlier this week, and he said the stock price may be high right now, but he believes the company will be worth more in 5 years. For people who have been following this channel for a long period of time, they know that as the Gen Z investor, I am a long-term investor. I purchase stocks from my portfolio and I plan on holding them for the next 10 plus years. I invest with a long-term perspective whenever I go in, research, and analyze a company. So people who buy Tesla, if you're going in for the hype, then this might scare you because Elon Musk himself has says he thinks the company is high over the short term. If you have the perspective to hold Tesla for the next 5 plus years, and you believe that over this next couple of years, the EV market's only going to expand in a rapid way, and you believe Tesla will continue to be a front runner in that industry and see not only revenue but earnings growth year over year, then you really don't have anything to worry about. He goes along in this podcast, in this interview, and just talks about how the stock may be high right now. He kind of shares is straight up is that he talks about how his premise is to never try to convince people why they should invest in Tesla. He literally said on the podcast, sell your stock, I don't care. So people who try to rely on Elon Musk for ideas on when to buy and when to sell, he will not be giving you those right now, and I don't think he ever will. And he talked about how if you were to ask him, does he believe Tesla will be a larger company in 5 years compared where they are today? He said yes, he believes that is true. So if you are an investor in Tesla and you believe that the company will continue to grow and you plan on holding for 5 plus years in order to get a nice long-term total return on your portfolio and from your Tesla position, then you will kind of be agreeing with what Elon Musk and his opinion on the stock is right now. Next, we're going to take a look at some future expectations for Tesla. They are expected to grow at an annual rate of 40% over the next 3 years, which is absolutely incredible. This company has been on a surge, and their earnings and revenue are expected to continue to grow at a very fast rate. Currently, right now, the company has just posted 4 consecutive quarters of profitability. They have $25 billion of total revenue, bringing in earnings just over $376 million. And this projection over the next 3 to 4 years shows the top line revenue continuing to grow at a very fast rate and profits and bottom line net income continuing to grow at a similar trend as well. Overall, though, this company will still projected to have very low profit margins. And a few years out, a 5-year projection shows them having close to $90 billion of total revenue with only $6 billion of earnings. So we see some massive earnings potential and annual earnings growth expectations. And one of the leaders that may help grow that actual earnings and the bottom line will be the Cybertruck. Tesla hasn't competed yet in the pickup truck market, and this is kind of their plan to get into that industry. They're building a heavy-duty, high-performance pickup truck that has better performance than a sports car. And what this is trying to do is the traditional pickup stuff into men and women who love their pickups, it's going to be very hard to take them away from their traditional style of vehicle. So what Tesla's trying to do is, of course, they're an innovator, so they came out with this very unique design, but they're trying to pack it with performance in order to drive and steal some market share away from the traditional pickup truck manufacturers. And if they can do that, and if they can get some positive results early on, I really do believe this pickup truck will change the industry. I really do believe that we'll see companies and organizations using these pickup trucks for their fleets of vehicles because of the durability, because of how hard the steel frame is, the fact that it won't get destroyed and damaged as easily as the pickup trucks on the market right now. I believe the Cybertruck can be a disruptor in that industry. We're going to wrap up by taking a look at Tesla's financial statements. We're going to jump in at their income statement. Overall, total revenue has been on a beautiful trend. 5 years ago, total revenue for Tesla was just at $4 billion. Well, if you take a look today, from their latest report over the past 12 months, they brought in over $25 billion of total revenue. Taking a look at the graph on the trend, you can see here absolute insane year-over-year revenue growth, which is spectacular to see. And if we move down to the bottom line, net income has finally been positive. We saw year-over-year massive net losses for Tesla, but over the past 4 quarters, you can see Tesla has posted consecutive profitability and consecutive profitable quarters, and now they have around $368 million of net income over the past 12 months. We take a look at the balance sheet. Tesla balance sheet isn't the strongest, but I don't believe it's weak at this current position. They have total current assets around $15.3 billion, and within their total current liabilities of $12.27 billion. So they have more total current assets than total current liabilities. I believe over the short term, this company will be able to maintain operations without much struggle. Their total ratio comes in at $38 billion of total assets compared to around $26.8 billion of total liabilities. So once again, a strong overall ratio. They have a nice kind of ratio between their total assets and total liabilities. And over the long term, you can see here assets growing year over year, which is exactly what we want to see. In this company, from a growth stock, what we like to see is growing equity. We like seeing equity growing over the long term as well. And you can see here total equity continues to grow on a nice upward trend, and a long upward trend for equity shows a nice steep incline. We're going to finish this video off by taking a look at the last financial statement, which is the cash flow statement. Top line always represents net income coming straight from the income statement. If we take a look, Tesla has continued to grow their cash flow from operations, which of course is the cash they bring in from actually their generating business activities. And you can see here around $2.7 billion of cash flow from operations. Cash from investing is money they spend to, of course, help grow the business. So they spent $1.9 billion on capital expenditure, a couple very small cash acquisitions as well. And financing is, of course, any financing activity like issuing debt or issuing shares. And you can see here they issued over $10 billion of debt, but in the same year, they actually paid off $10.3 billion of debt. And they've done a very nice job of each and every year increasing their debt payoff, following the same trend of their debt issuance each and every year. They actually had to issue around $2.7 billion of common stock over the past year, which of course helps bring in cash into the company. And overall, over the past 12 months, we've seen a $3.6 billion increase in net change in cash. Overall, Tesla has been a very interesting company for investors, very volatile stock, lots of ups and downs, but overall, the past 6 months have seen a rapid increase of close to 400% for the company, and Tesla continues to grow, continues to expand, and has posted a beautiful increase and a record number of deliveries in the Q3 of 2020. So thank you for watching, everyone. I am the Gen Z Investor, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.